Hey guys, I'm the CMan235 back in another video, and I'm going to add a few new things to this new little direct reaction series, if you want to call it that. I don't really know what you want to call it that, but I might actually do a little post DLC impressions and edit it into the video after this is all done. So if the video ends just like that, then I obviously didn't do it. But I'm gonna try and do it and see what I can tell you what I think about it. And I'm also gonna give more of my overall thoughts. That's something I actually noticed in the previous direct reactions that I just showed you my reaction, which may speak enough, but I don't think it speaks as much as it could. So with that said, though, Jesus Christ, there are 40,000 people watching. I don't think I've ever seen a stream get that many views. And it's starting. So with that said, let's see this. Hopefully you don't hear it. I'm going to turn the volume down a little bit. Hope my battery does not die.
This way.
Another Fire Emblem character's coming.
He's my brother.
We're your family. I'm so sorry, everyone. I feel like I have no choice but to...
Hey, you cheater. Look at that. They're advertising the new game.
Corey! Sorry, big brother. I've made my decision. How could you? You're giving up on us and battling completely unknown opponents.
They look tough. Not a problem for my big brother.
Yato Blade is taking on a form I've never seen.
Ooh, that looks painful.
He's using Dragon Fang. The power of the first dragon.
Wow, he's really mastered it, hasn't he? What did you expect?
Okay, that's out there.
Warriors of the Outrealms.
What the heck? I guess that's his counter move. Yeah, like there wasn't enough people with a counter already.
Leave some for me.
And of course there's a female version.
Sister. Wow, even better.
I figured they would add a...
My path is to take on the legendary heroes of Smash.
That's one hell of a... No, not Pac-Man.
I'm Masahiro Sakurai from Sora.
Hi, Sakurai.
Director of Super Smash Bros. Thank you for waiting. This will be the last video presentation of Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U. I hope you enjoy this finale. The main character from Fire Emblem Fates, Corrin, will be joining the fight. As we developed new fighters, we thought to include someone from this upcoming game. That's how we decided to begin production on Corrin. It's been a while since the new Fire Emblem title launched in Japan, but we're now just a couple months away from launching it in the rest of the world, so you'll get a chance to become familiar with Corrin before you play the game. As with Wii Fit Trainer and Robin, you can choose to play as a male or female version of Corrin. Both perform exactly the same, so it's all up to personal preference. You may notice the sword in Corrin's hand. It's the final form of the weapon Yato, called Omega Yato. However,
spoilers, dude! Actually, I have no idea if it's spoilers. I don't play Fire Emblem.
Corrin has the blood of a dragon.
I'm sure if people have already played the game, they're already, like, you know, if there is anyone watching this, I'm sure they're already telling me I'm wrong. If there is anyone watching.
He's capable of changing entirely into a dragon, but but some of his moves transform only some parts of his
That
body.
is, if I have any people in my subscriber base that actually knows about Fire, that actually plays Fire Emblem, which I'm sure one might. I'm not sure. I don't know.
When you use it. When
That
using
helmet looks really
attacks,
weird.
Corrin briefly sprouts wings. He moves forward when his wings appear, which may just give you the extra boost you need when recovering. After activating a dragon attack, his head changes in appearance. Corrin's standard special can be charged up by pressing and holding the B button, the Dragon Fang shot. If you land it, your opponent will be paralyzed for a bit. After firing, the transformed hand can also bite a nearby opponent. This follow-up attack can also be charged by holding the B button. This combo deals a lot of damage and can really launch a foe. Corrin's side special is a jump followed by a low thrust to the side, the Dragon Lunge. But this is not just a simple thrust. If you can stick your weapon in the ground successfully, you can remain hanging where you are. You can even pin your foe in place with this move. After pinning them, you can use a front kick, back kick.
So it's essentially a second grab.
Pin your opponent, then decide what to do based on the situation. The up special puts Corrin's wings to work. Dragon Ascent. At full wingspan, Corrin has a wide attack range. You can control the angle for a wider attack too. Use it wisely. Corrin's down special attack is Counter Surge. It's a counter move familiar to fans of the Fire Emblem fighters.
Yeah,
One big
and others.
is the visual one, the Dragon Transformation. Look carefully and you can see that the opponent's attack doesn't reach you. Other differences include being able to launch opponents upward and attack left and right equally. Corrin's final smash is Torrential Roar. You can pull in several nearby opponents with a whirl of water and then finish them off all at once.
That looks cool. That definitely looks like they gave it more thought than
There's
the other
no
Final
exclusive stage
Smashes
for this new
in
fighter.
the
What about new music then, you say? Yes, if you purchase Corrin for the Wii U version, you can get 2 additional music tracks for free. The first one is the Fire Emblem Fates theme song, Lost in Thoughts All Alone. It includes vocals. The other is a remixed version of the same song we played in the new Challenger video earlier. Both songs will be added to the existing Fire Emblem stages, so you can adjust the odds of them playing with my music. In the Nintendo 3DS version, as a special bonus, we added trophies of Ryoma and Xander from Fire Emblem Fates. They are the eldest brothers from the Hoshido and Nor kingdoms, respectively. Corrin's new Challenger illustration was created by Yusuke Kozaki, who is taking care of character designs for Fire Emblem Fates. This is his second Challenger illustration. His first was for Robin. Please check it out on the official website. We're targeting a February 2016 release for Corrin. We will announce the exact date later on the official website.
I expected them to be released now, but whatever. Doesn't matter.
From the Final Fantasy series, Cloud Strife will soon join the battle. Adding this character seemed all but impossible, but we made it happen. We have a lot of requests for Final Fantasy characters to join Smash Brothers, but of all of them, Cloud has been requested the most.
So it was the ballot choice, I'm guessing.
As a Super Smash Brothers fighter soon.
Huh?
I have some information to share about him as well. As usual, Cloud
not coming out
definitely
now?
handles a Buster Sword as big as his body, but we've weaved in some unique moves and elements too. His side smash will unleash a high-speed 3-hit chain attack. Watch his sword move at lightning speed. The sound effect that plays when he hits is inspired by the original game. And the 2 types of costumes include the original from Final Fantasy VII and one from Final Fantasy VII Advent Children.
I'm probably one of the 2 people that likes the Advent Children design more. I don't know why. I just think it looks
Covering
cooler.
the geostigma on his left arm and a version without. Such detail.
But then again, I don't play Final Fantasy VII, but I did look at the designs, and I like the look of the Advent Children one more. Even though it makes him look like a person from the Organization 13 from Kingdom Hearts.
KO gauge, but it isn't normally visible. However, you can charge up the limit gauge with Cloud's down special attack while checking in on this meter. When the gauge is maxed out, his limit break will be activated. This will surround Cloud in a blue aura, slightly increasing his stats. And, for one use only, each of his special attacks will be replaced with limit break versions. Cloud's standard special is Blade Beam. This is a wave bullet that moves along the ground, and it has a wide attack range. You can use it in the air as well, but it's more powerful on the ground. The limit break version of this special attack leads to a combo hit and a stronger launch. His side special is Cross Slash. It's Cloud's specialized sword move. By pressing the button 3 times when hitting an opponent, you can complete the Japanese word Kyo. It has high attack power, but if the opponent uses their
Oh, Serious Samus was able to shield that. Better nerf for a ninja.
before you finish the combo. Be careful. In addition to the damage, the limit break version has more launch power. The up special is Climb Hazard. Strike the opponent, ascend, then press the button again to fall and strike at high speed. When recovering, make sure not to press the button a second time. The limit break version climbs much higher. The extra height is especially useful when recovering, rather than attacking. Sometimes you'll want to save the limit break for later, but get launched before you can actually use it. Often you end up having no choice but to use limit break to recover. The down special is Limit Charge. With this move,
Didn't you already tell us
charge
this?
gauge. However, when the limit gauge is fully charged,
I expected
the
him to have a
down
counter.
special becomes a completely different move called Finishing Touch. This move only causes 1% damage, but its launch power is extremely strong. Fighters who've accumulated a certain amount of damage better watch out. And of course, his final smash is Omni Slash.
AKA Great Aether.
The opponent, then crush them completely with this move. Cloud had to have this move, am I right?
Yeah, but it looks like Aether.
Here's the new stage, Midgar. It's a location you'll recognize from early on in Final Fantasy VII. Both the Mako reactor and the Shinra building.
Huh? Oh, god damn it, it's loading.
Both the Mako reactor and the Shinra building can be seen here. It definitely has that cyberpunk feel. Here, summon material will appear, and the fighter who...
You know, there's one thing Twitch did improve on with YouTube Gaming. It doesn't stop every 5 seconds. Fuck you, YouTube.
changes the terrain, rather than directly
How to edit now. I actually have to edit now.
Ifrit. Ifrit creates an inferno that moves the terrain itself. When you touch the fire, you will be damaged. Stay alert and use strategic elements of the stage to your advantage. Ramu. Ramu manipulates floating terrain by attacking with lightning. You can pass through platforms that are charged with electricity, but you'll take damage. Only the fighter who summoned him will remain unharmed. Odin.
I hope it doesn't happen again.
Single slice. You can't avoid this attack.
Though I'm sure it will, knowing YouTube Gaming. Whoa.
The split in the stage is a good place to perform a meteor smash. Make sure you get caught in the middle when the stage comes back together.
That's one way to stop the glitches. Like in Brawl, with the Bridge of Eden or Elden stage, the Zelda stage for Twilight Princess.
The difference between
Especially with the giant Jigglypuff.
with rapid currents is that if you're swept away by water, the fighter who summons Leviathan will get points. Bahamut Zero. From high above, Bahamut Zero fires a devastating attack. It's an area of effect attack, and the flare will continue for a while, so the fighter who summoned him should try to force opponents into the blast. Whoever collected the summon materia...
This stage looks really fun, though it's not totally legal, but it looks fun, so.
As much summon materia as you can. We created Cloud and the Midgar stage for the Nintendo 3DS version as well. Of course, you can summon in that version too.
Oh, I didn't think the summons would be available.
Cloud's new challenger artwork was created by Tetsuya Nomura himself. I really appreciate that Mr. Nomura, who did the original design, also created the illustrations this time. It's really rare to see Nintendo characters in this style, and it's groundbreaking that a fight between Link and Cloud has been officially drawn. Cloud will become available for purchase within hours of this presentation. Once distribution has begun, you may experience some wait times due to high server demand. Please bear with me.
Oh, wow. They actually commented on it from last time.
I hope you'll enjoy playing as Cloud, who miraculously joined the fight from Final Fantasy. At the same
Nice
time
little
as
reference
Cloud,
to his victory
released
animation.
Chocobo hat for Mii Fighters. You can use it to dress up your Mii Fighter. And thanks to our relationship with Square Enix, we will release another Mii Fighter costume.
Who is this? Oh!
Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven
Oh, people are gonna be so pissed. Oh!
Gino shoots from a gun.
Oh crap!
So it's a natural fit.
People are gonna be so fucking pissed.
Since this
Wow.
is the last presentation, here are the final Mii Fighter costumes.
Oh boy. What? Oh. Sonic the Hedgehog. Tails. He has a gun. You should have given Shadow the gun. That would have been more fitting. Ah, here's Knuckles. Our good pal Nipples. Well, it's nice to see that they have other Sonic costumes, though. It's our good pal Nipples. Nipples, the enchilada. Oh god, that reminds me of the Tails doll. That must have been intentional.
By the way, Mii Fighters we showed in the past sometimes look like they have similar faces to the original characters in the intro videos and screenshots. On the official website, we have QR code patterns for some of these characters. If you download the Mii characters through these, you can quickly create pretty solid look-alike fighters, so please use them if you're interested.
Huh, I'll have to check that out. Would have been nice to know about that earlier, Sakurai. Why didn't he tell us beforehand?
Since we started
Whatever.
creating additional downloadable fighters. However, this is finally the climax. Here's our last fighter announcement trailer. Please take a look at the final new challenger in Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3D.
Two down!
Don't get careless, Pit. A challenger approaches.
That sounds like Alec Hillis.
Oh, another angel. Must have missed one.
Huh? Whoa, holy crap. Zach, eat your heart out. I told you this, she could come out, but wow.
again.
Oh no, this is gonna make up for Gino.
Her wicked weaves attacks.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, of course, they gave her clothes, even after her hair kinda, because her hair controls her powers, that, it would make sense that they do that, because,
It's witch time. Witches can control time itself. How is that?
wait, witches can control time, I never knew about that. I mean, I didn't know, I don't know, I haven't played Bayonetta.
Talk to a lady.
Ask your
I like Bayonetta's first design more than her new design, honestly. I mean, I've never played Bayonetta, but I like her first design from the first game more. I don't know why, I like the hairstyle more than the one that she got. I don't like the short hair. She just looks weird.
Don't tell me you're done already. She's so tough. Don't be such a wimp. Time for the best part. Smashing.
That's Gamora. She can also summon huge demons.
Enough talk, goddess. Don't mess with a witch.
Let me guess, now her and Palutena are gonna fight.
The Umbra Witch who hunts angels, Bayonetta. She's finally joining the battle. We've been asking for your opinion on the Super Smash Bros. Fighter ballot, and Bayonetta
She was the ballot
number one
choice.
in Europe. In North America, she was among the top 5. This ranking includes even fighters from previous games in the series. Among the negotiable and realizable characters, Bayonetta was the overall number 1 choice worldwide. In Super Smash Bros., Bayonetta is
Well
done.
done.
Many characteristics based on the original games. The more you learn to control her, the more you can feel that she moves like the character in the original games. First of all, she is a combo fighter, and not just weak attacks. Even her strong side attacks, front air attacks, and so on can land multiple hits. However, her combos are a bit slow to start. This is also similar to the original games. Each special move can strike multiple times, so you should be able to perform some very elegant aerial combo attacks, Bayonetta style.
Dang.
After an attack, press and hold the button to continue attacking with her guns. This is programmed into almost all of Bayonetta's moves, so you can fire even in the middle of combo attacks. However, the shots themselves won't slow enemies down, so you have to watch out for counterattacks. Bayonetta is equipped with 4 guns, one on each of her hands and feet, so she can shoot whether she's punching or kicking. It's possible to inflict additional damage to opponents at a distance, or steal points by hitting a fighter who's about to be knocked off the stage.
Well, then again, that was a feature already. It's just that, you know, it must be
And
easier.
the guns from the original Bayonetta are called Scarborough Fair. All 4 guns in each set have different names. Here's her Wicked Weaves. For this attack, she uses her hair as a conduit to summon the limbs of the infernal demon, Madama Butterfly. It's her smash attack, and it's huge by any measure. When used at the edge of a stage, her down smash attack is massively effective. This is Bayonetta's signature move, Witch Time. It reacts to the opponent's move in a flash and slows down time. This is her down special attack, and it's activated like a counterattack. While your opponent is moving slowly, strike back. We can't make the entire game slow down every time she uses Witch Time, so instead, it only slows down the opponent you're countering. The length of slowdown time is determined by several factors. The higher the opponent's accumulated damage, the longer the effect. But if you use it repeatedly, its effect will be shorter. When Witch Time is triggered late, Bat Within will be activated instead, reducing damage dealt by your opponent. Bat Within protects Bayonetta even when her dodge move is about to fail. her signature visual effects appear as well, adding a bit of flashiness to brawls. When she lands, butterflies appear. When she's damaged, roses fall. And aerial jumps show off her butterfly wings. During jumps and gunshots, unique magic circle effects turn up too. And in the Wii U version, Bayonetta's shadow is in the shape of Madama Butterfly.
Huh. I have no idea who that is.
Also, there's an extremely long taunt. You can cancel it in the middle too, so you can dance if you want to. Bayonetta has two costumes. There's the blue costume from Bayonetta 2, featuring her shorter hair, and the A Witch with No Memories costume from the original Bayonetta. There's also a color variation inspired by Jean. Bayonetta's standard special is Bullet Climax. She can shoot with her hands or her feet. The guns
Holy
shoot
crap.
slightly upward, but you can fire continuously. Also, if you press and hold the button, this attack will charge up. If used on the ground, her side special is Heel Slide. By holding the button, you can add a kick at the end. This way, you can make a combo as well. However, if you use it in the air, her side special is Afterburner Kick instead. This is the first time ever that the name of the move changes depending on where you use it. If you hit your opponent in the air with Afterburner Kick, you can then strike with another one. Also, if you use the Afterburner Kick after pressing down, then you can angle it diagonally downward. Let's just say, if you often use Ryu's traditional Hadouken command, it should be easy to do. This can also be used as a starting point of a combo. Her up special is called Witch Twist. This special attack takes you skyward, but you can move immediately after you've activated it, and you can use it once again mid-jump. If you keep holding the button, you can shoot too. Try holding the button to rack up more damage. When recovering, use Witch Twist, then jump, and Witch Twist again on top of that.
That seems kind of broken, but then again, they might have limited. Yeah, actually, you know what? Yeah, no, looking at it now, it looks very limited. So yeah, I guess that's why they actually did that. But it does have some advantages, so I can actually see how that could work. Oh, wow, they're gonna make her go against Palutena.
If you're on the receiving end, try to fend them off. Her final smash is Infernal Climax. The way this move activates is also very unique. First, Witch Time goes into effect and the entire screen slows down. The climax gauge will be displayed, which means it's time to damage opponents to fill up the gauge. When the climax gauge is full, you'll summon the Infernal Demon Gamora, who will lunge for any opponents you attack while maxing out the gauge. Once Gamora has finished chewing, if the opponent's accumulated damage is over 100%, they'll be finished immediately, so it works like a danger zone. You can also throw in multiple opponents at once, so please try it out.
That looks really cool. And they have a stage for her.
There's also a Bayonetta stage.
There was actually some leaks earlier. I'm glad I skipped them, because if I knew Bayonetta was going to be in this, that would have been really disappointing. So, thankfully I skipped out on the leaks, and I avoided them completely. So I was surprised.
Run right next to it just to mix things up.
You know, I'm very shocked that Bayonetta was actually in this, because the games are rated M for mature, and her hair kind of takes away her clothing, so I'm surprised they were able to put her in here. Glad she's in it though. That'll make fans happy.
Angels like Inspire
So
and Fortitudo have guest appearances as well.
I do like it when Nintendo. I loved it when they brought in Cloud, because it pretty much proved that anyone can be in Smash now, and Bayonetta is the continuation of that. Now anyone, regardless of the series or powers, can be in it, even if they are much more, you know, much more inappropriate for kids, I guess. It's nice that they're not shying away from that anymore, so.
You'll get them all. Bayonetta's new challenger illustration was created by Bayonetta development team member Eiji Funahashi. It's an impressive work showcasing the fight between light and dark, so take some time to soak in all the details on the official website.
That is the best piece of artwork I've seen out of them. It's like showing pretty much all the characters.
Type of situation.
Well, not all of them, but most of them.
So please be patient until she is released. Just like Corrin, we're targeting a February 2016 release for Bayonetta and the Umbra Clock Tower stage. Once it's finalized, we will announce the exact release date on the official website. And now, we have some news about Amiibo.
Oh no.
Ryu, Roy, and Rob,
More money.
Famicom colors, will be released on March 18th, 2016. Please stay tuned for retailer and pre-order information. And we can also confirm Amiibo production for the 3 fighters that we covered today: Cloud, Corrin, and Bayonetta. Each of them will have Amiibo figures. Their release dates are still to be determined. Please wait for further information. Each of the newly announced fighters, Corrin, Cloud, and Bayonetta, have specific characteristics and skills. Their battle styles are all unique as well, so we hope you enjoy playing as them and fighting against them. It's been over a year since we finished development of the original game. We've continued to develop new fighters and stages, and it's created a huge volume of content. The total number of fighters is 58. Counting the Nintendo 3DS and Wii U versions together,
I think that's the hugest roster I've ever seen for a fighting game.
Versions together, the total number of Mii Fighter costumes is 99. There are 97 hats. The total number of trophies is 743 for Wii U and 707 for Nintendo 3DS. The total number of music tracks, such as stage music, is 507, victory jingles and the like aside. I believe these are record high numbers for a competitive action game. In terms of sales, it's certainly best to create downloadable content while developing the original game, then release them close to the game's launch. But for this specific title, we created downloadable content from scratch after finishing the original game's development.
That's how it should be done.
It requires intense work. Without your support, we couldn't have made it. Thank you so much. In Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U, a variety of fighters have appeared, making possible certain matchups we never would have imagined. We hope all of these characters will continue to make great appearances in many titles to come. I greatly appreciate the developers of each game featured and the fans. And with that, I thank you.
Let's see what this is. You know, this really feels like the end of an era. So, I'm guessing that's it. I'm going to cut to when I have, well, whatever was released later today, Cloud, and the DLC costumes included, and you will see my ugly face again when I've actually played those. So, also I'll give my thoughts on what I think of the stages as well, which are probably the most important thing. So with that said, I shall see you guys next time. And by that I mean like 2 seconds. Hey guys, CMan235 back with, why am I even saying back with another video? I'm back with the DLC impressions. I'm really tired right now, so if I sound a little boring, that's why. I'm doing the DVD collection after this too. It is really, really fucking late. I really need to get some fucking sleep. Anyway, the DLC and the presentation, my overall thoughts. Let's start with the presentation. The presentation was standard. It was how I thought they were going to present the last 3 characters. They did, and they went over all their specials and how they worked, and that was pretty much what happened. Nothing really more to say. The presentation itself was standard. The stuff that was shown off was what made it really, really good. But other than that, it was a pretty standard direct. Nothing too out of the ordinary when it comes to other directs. What really made it was the stuff they were really selling. I think the direct really wouldn't have been near as good if it weren't for the surprises that were had. Like, the new Fire Emblem character that's in the new game Fire Emblem Fates, and of course Bayonetta, which has blown up on the internet a lot, significantly. Love the Bayonetta artwork, though. I gotta say, the Bayonetta artwork, like the one where like it has a bunch of Smash characters, that looks really cool. With that said, the content that's actually they actually showed off is really awesome. Bayonetta, I did not expect. I didn't think she had a chance in hell. I mean, I understand you could argue Cloud was just like, well, Cloud is in the game, and he's never really been in a Nintendo game, and if Cloud can be in it, then anyone can be in it. But here's the thing. Cloud was in a game that was rated T for teen, at least as far as I know. I'm pretty sure it's rated T for teen. If it's not, then I'm wrong. But, whatever. With that said, Bayonetta is not only in an M-rated game, which you could argue Snake is too, but hear me out. Not only is Bayonetta in an M-rated game, she is probably one of the most over-sexualized characters. Now, that's not a bad thing. That, people like her for sex appeal. That's fine. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, she isn't for kids. That's really it. She isn't for kids. Teenagers, yeah, but kids, no. Like, keep in mind, yeah, there are a lot of adults and teenagers that play Smash Brothers, myself included, but there are also kids that play these games too. They're not the, they're not the majority of the demographic, but they are the target demographic. Because Smash Brothers is rated, well, this one, the new one, Wii U, is rated E10, though previous ones have been rated T for teen for cartoon violence, even though it's all cartoony violence and there's no blood whatsoever. But with that said, though, Bayonetta isn't exactly for kids. And I was so shocked that they actually found a way to sort of still keep her not fully, but mostly clothed when she uses her hair for her attacks, because that's her power, is that her hair is her clothes, and therefore if she uses her powers, then that uses up hair, and obviously she doesn't have a big bunch of hair, so obviously she has to lose clothing in order to actually use her powers. And yeah, nudity is not exactly a thing you will show off in Nintendo games, but they actually found a way to do it, and I figured the solution was pretty obvious, but at the same time, Sakurai, for some reason, stressed about being faithful to characters, even though half of Fox's moveset and Captain Falcon's moveset, and I believe Falco's moveset entirely, was completely made up for Smash Brothers, so that's out of the question. But despite this, they still went ahead and did it anyway, and I'm glad they did, though, because that means that anyone can be in Smash now. No matter what game they're in, no matter, as long as they are a video game character, then they're in it. And Bayonetta was the winner of the ballot. At first, you heard it in the reaction video. I actually thought for a second that it sounded like Cloud was the ballot winner when it was like, Cloud's the ballot winner. Even when I watched the Cloud video, I was like, I don't think he's the ballot winner. I mean, he could be. He very well could be. He's definitely an out there choice, but I don't see how he would be the ballot winner, because not even a month after the ballot ended did Cloud get announced. No, not. It was more like no. It was actually no. It was like two. It was actually like 2 months, nearly 2 months after. But like not even 2 months after they announced him, and he was mostly completed. So he had to have been completed around the break time that around the time that Ryu and Roy were released. Like after Ryu, Roy, and Lucas were released, and then they finished him, today. With that said. I am really, I'm not really a Bayonetta guy. I've never really played Bayonetta. I don't hate the games, I just never played them. Though I do hear Bayonetta 2 is awesome, so I might check that out at some point. But with that said, the reason why I didn't get it was because, well, I didn't play the first one for one, and while I could have gotten the first game along with it, I was fixated on Smash Brothers and Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Bayonetta came out around the same month. Yeah, just there was a lot of games that came out. You have to remember there was a lot of games that came out at that time. So yeah, Bayonetta was kind of out of the question. But I might get the first game is available for download on the Wii U, and Bayonetta 2 is out in stores. There's nothing stopping me from getting them, so I might get them at some point, give them a shot. I might play the demo to get me familiar with it too, because demos are a thing. With that said, though. It is really a good win for Bayonetta fans, and I can't really say, honestly, some people that didn't get their picks are disappointed. Honestly, I didn't expect any of my picks to be there, even though, my picks for the Smash ballot were the Inkling, which I actually was kind of disappointed they didn't do anything with, but I'll get to that in a moment. Tails or Knuckles, mostly Tails because he's Sonic's sidekick. I understand why people would think Knuckles is a better choice, but, because, he's rougher than the rest of them. Unlike Sonic, he doesn't chuckle. He likes to flex his fist nipples. But, Knuckles is not as... What do you think of when you think of Sonic besides Sonic and Eggman? And I guess maybe Shadow. You think of Tails. You think, other than Sonic and Eggman, you think of Tails. Because he was Sonic's sidekick. He's been in the game since the second game in the series, so... Yeah, well, okay, third if you're counting the Game Gear game. Fourth if you're counting the... Actually, no, fuck it, you get the point. He was introduced very early into the series. He's a popular character, so, it's nice that they actually did make some Knuckles and Tails Mii fighter costumes. With that said, though, yeah, another character I voted for was Nightmare, but I didn't expect for him to be picked. Because they got Pac-Man in there, and honestly, my pick I really wanted was Pac-Man and Palutena. Those were the characters I really wanted, and they got at the start of the game, so I can't really complain. The one character I was disappointed didn't make it, though, was, like I said, the Inkling, because it's a new IP. They want to focus support on Fire Emblem, the new Fire Emblem game, which is fine. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with Fire Emblem at all getting more exposure. If anything, it's gotten a lot of exposure. Like, the series was nearly dead in America. However, like, Knights to Awakening just blew up, and now it's one of their biggest IPs, and that's great, especially for fans, because now they'll get really good games, especially by the same creative team made a supposedly really amazing game. Nothing wrong with advertising that. Nothing wrong with that at all. My problem is that Splatoon is a new IP, a brand new intellectual property, and it's very popular. It's still popular to this day. You're still releasing content for it, so why not do something with that? These are supposedly the last DLC characters we're ever going to get for Smash 4. I understand for Smash 5 we could wait until then, but we don't know when that's going to come out, and it's not going to come out at the time of the NX, because the NX, I mean, having a Smash game at launch would be a good idea, but it really hasn't been that long, and the NX is probably going to come out, like, next year or 2017. I'm more leaning towards 2017. I think they're going to announce it, because usually what Nintendo does is they announce the system the year before, and then they release it the next year. They did it with the Wii U. I think they did it with the Wii, so I think they're going to do it with the NX as well, so they're going to announce it and show it off on, next year, which it is still 2015 by this recording, so next year, and then showcase it and release it the year afterwards. That's what I think they're going to do. But it's way too soon to make another Smash game after all the DLC that's been released since then. I don't know. What I think is actually might happen, which this actually would be kind of cool, is that if Smash Wii U actually got an NX port, like they ported the Wii U version over to the NX, because it wouldn't be hard. I mean, the Wii U's architecture is very different, but at the same time, the Wii U's architecture, with Smash Brothers, they don't really utilize the gamepad at all, unless you're talking about custom stages. So I think they could do it, but that's a thing for another day. With that said, though, the stuff they announced was really cool. I was disappointed that they didn't have the Inkling there, because I would have liked to see a new IP get a little bit of love from Smash Brothers. After all, they did it with Animal Crossing to an extent, like they did with the trophies, and I know they have a trophy of the Inkling, but I kind of wanted a bit more from that, but oh well, maybe for Smash 5 when that gets released about 10 years from now. Delays and all. With that said, I did really like the content they showed off. And as for the content we have right now, as for Cloud and the Midgar stage, and I guess the Mii Fighter outfits, though the Mii Fighter outfits are very sparse. I'm surprised we got very little content. Granted, though, that's probably because they still have a lot of finishing touches to do on the final stuff, and they really want to save a lot of the biggest stuff, like Bayonetta. Like, Cloud's already done. That's a big one already, so might as well get him released. But the last two characters and everything, those big stuff, that big finale to, like, it's gonna be the end-all, be-all Smash Brothers DLC to end it all off with the Wii U version, and just stop, you know, with the Smash Wii U in general. It's like the end of an era. And it's only been going on for like a year and a half, maybe a year, like a tenth, I'm not sure how long. It's been going on since November of last year, and it's finally coming to an end in February. Jesus Christ. A year and 3 months of Smash Brothers, and it's finally coming to an end. It feels weird. It feels really weird. With that said, though, you know, we surprisingly got very little of it. We only got like a third of what was said, which, you know, is understandable that they want to save some content. Honestly, what I think they should have done is probably make some more Mii Fighter outfits for now, because usually when they do this sort of thing, they, you know, like, for example, with the first pack when they released Mewtwo, they had a crap ton of new costumes available, and they, of course, had, I believe, 1 or 2 new stages. I know they had 1 new stage, I know that for sure. Actually, did they have a new stage? I think they had 1 new stage. Miiverse, that was one, and I forget what I forget if there was a second one or not, but I know Miiverse was... Actually, no, Miiverse wasn't. Okay, whatever, I'm confused. Regardless, they released a bunch of content, and it just feels like the content here was a little lacking this time. But despite that, the content we still got was good enough. You know, we got a couple of Mii Fighter outfit parts, which are there, which I've gotten, but they're there. There's nothing really more to say. Cloud, and as for Cloud and Midgar, the Midgar stage is really, really cool. Again, I've never played Final Fantasy VII. I don't know if I've said that previously. I think I have in the previous direct before this one. But I'm not a Final Fantasy guy. The only one I played was 13, and that is not exactly the greatest introduction to Final Fantasy. I'm not gonna hold it against the rest of the games though, because I hear 13 is one of the worst in the series. So I shouldn't hold it against the other games. I will try them out eventually. 7 is on my radar. Please don't hassle me about it if you're watching this. If you've gotten really far into this super long video to actually hear my full thoughts and care about what I think. With that said, yeah, I'm not a fan of Final Fantasy nut, but I think the Midgar stage was really cool. I liked some of the stuff that they had in that stage. Very pretty, especially the Wii U version, though the 3DS version kind of looks like ass. It really does. The Wii U version does look a lot better, not just like in terms of graphics, even though, yes, it does look better in terms of graphics, obviously. I'm talking also about like the summons and like the effects and everything that they used. It just looks better. But whatever. Like the 3DS version, you can obviously tell it's a background, and like I know you could argue, well, they're all backgrounds. What's so different about it? Well, it's very noticeable, the 3DS version, even more noticeable than other 3DS stages. So I have a feeling a lot of the time was spent on making the summons work, because the summons have a lot of very flashy attacks that I'm surprised the 3DS was able to pull them off. I thought the summons were not even going to be in there, but, you know, they were. Kudos to them, and it doesn't cause the game to lag either. As for Cloud, he's really fun to play with. I had a lot of fun playing as him. In fact, I played as him a lot more than I have other DLC characters at launch, with maybe the exception of Roy. Roy was my favorite of the DLC characters because not only did they change him a crap ton to make him not a Marth clone, or at least Luigi-fy him to an extent, sort of like Lucas, but I also just really thought Roy played well. In fact, I argue he's better than Marth in Smash 4, which isn't that much of an accomplishment, but still. As for Cloud himself, though, he's really fun. I think he has a lot of great combo potential, and I definitely really like his the limit system that they have in there. Like, I don't know if it's accurate to his games. I know like the attacks are ripped from it, but from what I hear, the limit charge was not a thing in any Final Fantasy game at all. But with that said, though, either way, he's really fun to play as. I think his moves are really cool to pull off. I especially like the Omni Slash, that little thing with the Japanese symbol. You slash into some. I don't know what that is. Again, I've never played Final Fantasy VII, so forgive me if I'm getting all this completely wrong. But it was a really cool attack, really effective too. And in terms for that tornado move, by God, that tornado move is ridiculously powerful in terms of launch power. Obviously not in terms of damage, but launch power, it is ridiculously high. It's goddamn. My one weird thing though is that they didn't get his English voice actor. It's Japanese. The dialogue is Japanese for Cloud. I'm not joking about that. I don't know. Apparently, the English voice actor for Cloud was not contacted. I don't know if it's because they figured he was too busy because Final Fantasy VII is getting a remake, don't you know? But I don't know what it was, but he didn't get an English voice actor, which is weird because Cloud has one. We've heard it millions of times. We've heard it in the upcoming remake, the footage we've seen of that. Not to mention he was in Advent Children, an entire movie, that was focused on Cloud. So it's just kind of weird to see that, but, whatever. With that said, though, that's really all I have to say. I do like what was released so far. I can't wait for the new stuff. So with that said, I shall see you guys probably in the DVD and video game collection, which I'm going to be recording right after this. So, see ya.